Greetings, kindred friend. Before we begin our journey tonight, I invite you to join me in taking a quiet moment right now. Relax your shoulders, take a deep breath of the pure late-night air, and exhale very slowly, letting all the agitation out there dissipate with the rhythm of your breath. You know, time is not a thief silently coming to strip away your youth. Imagine time as a great river flowing over rocky rapids. It is the very power of that current that has polished the beauty of the pebbles, turning roughness into something smooth, still, and radiant. Society often views old age through the lens of loss, but Buddhist wisdom whispers of a truth far more liberating. Engrave this truth into your heart. Aging is not about losing. It's about becoming. You are not fading. You are only becoming denser in wisdom. But how do we walk in the autumn of life with all the elegance and dignity of an awakened soul? Tonight, I invite you to explore 10 refined living habits inspired by the teachings of the Buddha. These mindful anchors will help you fully preserve your aura and serenity amidst the swirling currents of life. If you long to nourish that inner light, join me in beginning this journey with an open heart. Habit 1. The wardrobe of the soul, dressing beautifully. In sovereignty, there is an ancient saying in Zen, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Dear friend, when stepping into the twilight years, we often fall into a secret anxiety about our appearance. The Western world is full of flashy fashion trends, urging us to hide the years. But true elegance chooses a different path. Let us imagine together. Mariko, a woman I once met in a small alley in Kyoto. Even in her 70s, she always exuded a beauty that left onlookers stunned. Mariko did not wear expensive brands or glaring colors. She often chose for herself soft linen robes, bearing the colors of the earth, of the mist, and of the pebbles submerged in a stream. When I asked about her secret, Mariko smiled. I don't dress for the world to see. I dress for my soul to breathe. The lesson from Mariko is exactly the harmony between body and mind. When you choose natural materials like silk, linen, or cotton, and gentle neutral colors, you are sending a message of love to your nervous system. Comfort is not indulgence, it is self-respect. When your body feels relieved in its fabric, your mind will also lessen its tense display. Engrave this truth before choosing your outfit tomorrow. Your aura is what people truly see before your outfit. When your soul is still and full of compassion, even the simplest outfit will radiate an eternal magnetism. Tonight, allow yourself to shed all pressure about appearance, so tomorrow, you step out into life with a noble beauty that needs no words. Habit 2. Nourishing growth, when the mind is always an empty cup. Imagine your mind right now, not as an old machine, but as a quiet meditation garden. If one day you stop watering and sowing seeds, that land will gradually become arid and boringly still. In the wisdom of the Buddha, life is a flow that never stands still. The moment you say, I know enough, is the exact moment you begin to wither from within. I want to tell you about a Zen master whom I always respect. At the age of 90, when his hair was white as snow and his hands trembled slightly, he still spent every afternoon learning how to hold a calligraphy brush and practicing the most basic strokes. When a disciple asked in amazement, Master, you are already a great master. Why are you still struggling to learn these elementary things? The master smiled, his eyes shining with primal joy. I learned not to become an artisan, but to feel life constantly sprouting inside me. True elegance of old age lies in the beginner's mind spirit, always open and curious, like a child seeing the moonlight for the first time. Whether it is opening a book about a distant land, learning how a musical instrument works, or simply learning how to brew a cup of tea in a new way, every act of learning is a time you are sweeping away the mist of stagnation. Engrave this radiant truth into your heart. Growth doesn't have an expiration date. A mind always thirsting for understanding is exactly the spring of eternal youth. Tonight, allow yourself to be a beginner once more. Sleep in silent eagerness, so tomorrow The world around you will again appear as a fresh gift, full of miracles waiting for you to explore. Habit 3. Dignified posture, when the physical body is the mirror of the soul. Try directing your attention to your spine right this moment. There is a silent truth that as age increases, we often let the gravity of worries pull our shoulders down and close our chests. However, in Buddhist wisdom, posture is not just a physical matter. It is a manifestation of self-respect and mindfulness. I will always remember the image of an old monk at a remote monastery high in the mountains. Even at a centenarian age, every step he took exuded a strange gracefulness. He was never hurried, but also never sluggish. Every footstep touching the ground was decisive and sturdy like a mountain. He taught me that the body is a temple, and how you keep that temple will determine the dwelling of the mind. Tonight, I invite you to perform a simple soul alignment ritual. When you lie or sit, imagine a sparkling golden thread connecting from the top of your head stretching straight up to the vast starry sky. That thread gently supports every vertebra, helping your chest expand so your breath can be more expansive. When you maintain a proper posture, your nervous system will immediately receive a signal of confidence and safety. You are no longer an old person shrinking before the world. You are a dignified presence. Engrave this truth. The way we move reflects the way we think. Tomorrow, when walking in your house, try slowing down a beat and keeping your back straight. Let every step be an affirmation of your radiant presence. Sleep in that sturdiness, so tomorrow you wake up with a majestic body and a fearless heart. Habit 4. The silver crown, honoring the mark of time. Try looking into the silent mirror of the night right now. Have you always, all this time, considered white hair as the enemy of beauty? We live in a culture that teaches us to hide the years, to dye away the traces of time, to maintain the illusion of youth. But in Buddhist wisdom, aging is one of the 4 sacred messengers sent to awaken our souls from the slumber of attachment. I want to tell you about Mrs. Setsuko, a woman with the aura of a wild orchid. When turning 70, Setsuko decided to stop dyeing her hair. She let her hair become pure white and glossy under the sun. When someone asked if she was afraid of getting old, she gently stroked a silver strand and smiled. "This is not white hair. This is the moonlight of the nights I stayed up to care for my children. It is the sunlight of the days I worked tirelessly. Why should I hide the wealth of my life?" Dear friend, your white hair is actually a silver crown that the universe has bestowed upon your resilience. Engrave this soothing truth. Your silver strands are a testament to the life you've lived. Tonight, grant yourself ultimate tolerance. Touch your head and thank every strand of hair that has gone through storms with you. You are not fading. You are shining with the color of wisdom. Sleep in the sovereignty of a king or queen possessing their own crown, a noble beauty that youth, no matter how brilliant, can never touch. Habit 5. Nourishing, the physical temple, when self-care is a spiritual practice. The Buddha once taught that a human body is hard to obtain. He compared this body to a sacred vehicle sheltering consciousness through the ocean of birth and death. Dear friend, do you ever lie down and feel like you are fighting with your own body? You are sad because of aches. You are disappointed because of slowness. But stop for a beat and understand this truth. The body is the vessel that carries us through life. I want to tell you about a Zen master whom I always respect. Even busy with thousands of Buddhist affairs, every day he took the time to care for his body meticulously. He did not do so out of love for outward appearance, but he considered it an offering to awakening. He taught me that if you let the temple fall into ruin, the light of the Buddha inside will have no place to reside. In the twilight years, nourishing that temple does not require luxurious medicines. You only need to rely on 3 breaths of kindness. First, water the body with pure streams of water every day to unblock the beat of life. Second, select nutritional sources. the way you select the most precious items to offer on the altar. Frugal, natural, and full of the energy of heaven and earth. And finally, let the temple move gently so the life sap inside you always circulates. Tonight, place your hand on your chest. Feel your heart still persistently beating for you. Promise yourself that tomorrow you will treat this physical body with the reverence it deserves to receive. When you care for your body with gratitude, your mind will automatically find a strange stability. Habit 6. Loving kindness, the eternal mark of elegance. His Holiness the Dalai Lama once left a simple teaching that contains the power to transform an entire human life. My religion is very simple. My religion is kindness. Dear friend, in conventional thinking, elegance is often associated with rituals and outward appearance. But in the light of awakening, true elegance is exactly a kind heart. I want to tell you about the image of an elderly woman I often met in the park in the afternoon. Every day, she brought a small cloth and quietly wiped the dusty benches clean before sitting down. She did not do it expecting a thank you. She did it because she wanted the next person sitting there to feel welcomed by a gentle cleanliness. That is exactly the pinnacle of elegance, a kind action when no one is watching. That silent kindness creates a soothing energy flow wrapping around you, a nameless fragrance but capable of comforting every passing soul. At this age, you do not need to do extraordinary things to become radiant. Sometimes, elegance is just a gentle smile given to a stranger, listening ears that are fully attentive without judging, or a warm inquiry sent to someone who is melancholic. And most importantly, that kindness must be reserved for yourself. Learn to be tolerant of your clumsiness. Learn to speak loving words to your own tired soul. Engrave this sacred truth. There is no greater beauty than a kind heart. Tonight, let loving kindness soothe your nervous system. When you choose to live kindly, your heart rate will automatically find stability and your mind will become as clear as an autumn lake. Sleep in the aura of love, so tomorrow you wake up as a warm light source, bringing elegance to water this life. Habit 7. Movement in awakening. When every step is an appreciation. You know what? Movement in the twilight years is not a race against time, but the way we say thank you to the life still flowing in our veins. I will always remember the story of Dr. Lee, a person who spent his whole life saving patients in the busiest hospitals in New York. When retiring, instead of choosing passive stillness, he found revival in the slow forms of Tai Chi every morning in the park. He told me, "In the past, I ran to save people. Now I walk to meet myself again." Whether it's gentle yoga movements, the leisurely rhythm of Tai Chi, or simply a 10-minute walk in the yard, every movement is a sacred offering. When you walk, feel the soles of your feet contacting the tolerant Mother Earth. Feel the life sap circulating through all your blood vessels. Do not move to get anywhere. Move to know you are truly present. Understand this comforting truth. Movement is meditation in action. When you choose a slow lifestyle and move in mindfulness, you are directly soothing your nervous system and awakening the healer inside you. Tonight, sleep in the relief of a soul that is ready, so that tomorrow, every footstep touching the ground is a bridge guiding you to complete peace. Habit 8. Selecting the circle of communication, protecting the spiritual garden. The Buddha once left a profound teaching that our elderly audience needs to engrave in their hearts. Associating with virtuous friends is the entirety of the path of awakening. He understood that an orchid branch cannot bloom if it lives in the dark, and our minds also cannot be serene if surrounded only by negative agitations. To help you visualize more clearly, let us look at a fable about two stones. Imagine an old monk standing by a still lake. In his hands are two different stones. The first stone is solid and heavy, representing souls always immersed in resentment, judgment, and complaining about life. When dropped into the lake, it immediately sank to the dark bottom. The second stone is pumice, a light stone full of spaces for air. When touching the water, It floated expansively on the waves, rhythmically drifting with the wind. Dear friend, the people around you are exactly the same. At this age, your energy fund is no longer in surplus to squander. There are people who, when met, help your soul float with empathy and loving speech. But there are also people, whether intentionally or unintentionally, who drag you down with frequencies of anxiety and jealousy. Understand this sacred truth. The energy of those around you shapes the energy within you. Tonight, I invite you to allow yourself to be clear-cut. Your selection of relationships is not selfishness, but an act of protecting your own temple of peace. Sleep in the relief of someone who knows how to protect the climate of their heart, so tomorrow you only receive the warmest breezes of kinship and wisdom. Habit 9. Enjoying joy, when laughter is medicine. For the soul. In ancient wisdom, bliss is not superficiality. It is exactly a noble form of practice to soften the sharp edges of the ego. Look at the old man Haru whom I once had the fate to meet. Despite having gone through all kinds of ups and downs and losses, Haru's eyes always sparkled with a strange wit. He could burst out laughing at his own clumsiness when dropping a spoon, or smile brightly when watching sparrows fighting over a crumb of bread on the porch. Laughter is exactly the moment you loosen the rigid control of the ego, so the soul can breathe in freedom. You do not need a grand reason to be happy. Sometimes, elegance lies exactly in how you tolerate the flaws of reality with a good-natured smile. Engrave this soothing truth every night. I laugh not because life is perfect. Tonight, let all tension on your face melt away. Tomorrow, allow yourself to laugh freely at the most ordinary things. When you laugh, you are sending a signal of peace to every cell, signaling that this world is still beautiful, and you are still being cherished by life. Sleep in the relief of a heart, always full of the light of joy. Habit 10. Continuously evolving. The art of spiritual molting. There is a silent misconception imprisoning the minds of so many people in their twilight years, that is believing their life is a book written to the last chapter. And our job is only to sit quietly waiting for the period. The world often looks at your wrinkles and slowness and concludes that everything is done. But dear friend, in the radiant wisdom of the Buddha, there is never an absolute stopping point. Life is a waterfall, always renewing and constantly incarnating in every breath. I invite you to look with me at the metaphor of the sacred lotus. You know what? The lotus does not just bloom once, and that's it. Every early morning, it rises from the water again, shedding the mud of yesterday to unfurl its purest petals under the sun. Your old age is not when the flower withers, but exactly when it is preparing for a more radiant form of awareness. Listen to the story of an old monk living next to a 1,000-year-old ancient tree. One afternoon, the student asked the master, "Master, this tree is too old. Its trunk is hollowed out, and its branches and leaves are dry. Is it of any value to this forest anymore?" The monk quietly led the student close to the base of the tree, pointing to a tiny green sprout emerging from the rough bark, blackened by storms. He gently said, "The tree does not get old. The tree is only refining the life sap to prepare for a new life. Its physical body seems to stand still, but its soul is still silently dancing with the universe. You are also exactly that ancient tree. The greatest fear of old age is not death, but the stagnation of the soul. To keep yourself always elegant, learn the art of molting. Just like a snake bravely sheds its tight-old skin to grow, or a butterfly must go through heart-wrenching pain to escape the narrow cocoon, you also need to bravely shed old egos. Do not cling to the image of the I of the past. Allow yourself to be wrong, to be clumsy when learning something new, and to change your worldview even at a centenarian age. Zen wisdom has a saying that touches every pondering heart tonight. The river of today is never the river of yesterday. Every time you inhale, a new amount of oxygen is nourishing your cells. Every time you smile, A new energy frequency is being created. You are not stepping backward. You are evolving to a nobler level of existence. Engrave this command of peace before sinking into deep sleep. You are exactly who you need to be, and you are still becoming. Tonight, let all definitions of age melt into the darkness. Do not let the mind frame you into a number. Sleep in the mindset of a green sprout incubating under the Mother Earth, full of longing and hope. Waking up tomorrow morning, you will not see yourself 1 year older. You will see yourself having just been born once again, clearer, wiser, and more radiant than ever. Greetings. Our journey of consciousness tonight, through 10 elegant living habits, has gradually closed here, right at the threshold of reconciliation. We have together learned how to dress the soul, nourish the garden of the mind, maintain dignified posture, honor white hair, and care for the physical temple with loving kindness. You have learned to select the energy circle around you, laugh out loud at the flaws of reality, and realize that evolution is the eternal breath of the soul. Understand the gentlest truth after all those lessons: aging is not fading, it is deepening. The wrinkles on your face are not traces of destruction. They are exactly the golden diary pages, recording the courage of a warrior who has gone through all kinds of storms while still keeping a warm heart. Tonight, you no longer owe the world an explanation, nor do you owe yourself any punishment. You are whole. You are full. If this video has brought your soul a little warmth, a little light amidst the long night, please help me spread this good energy with a like button and subscribe to the channel. That is how we together light the lamps of awakening, so no one feels lonely on the journey returning to themselves. Wishing you a long night of peace, complete letting go, and waking up in the dawn of a highly radiant second spring. Goodbye, and see you again in the next journeys of awakening.